Okay, we have another curriculum. We call it as a gendered curriculum. Gendered curriculum. This is basically a feminist perspective. They blame three different social institutions. Feminist, they mentioned the feminist perspectives. Feminist will blame three social institutions. Three social institutions. Just keep in mind the idea of the function fit. For example, family, education, and workplace. They blame all these institutions because of different socialization. Because of different socialization. For example, family give you socialization or different role during the socialization process. It's a primary socialization. It will give you different roles. For example, male will perform instrumental role and female will perform expressive role. So we all learn that what is for the man and what is for the woman. We all learn all these things, particular things in our family socialization process. So they are blaming the family to giving them a different role. That's the first one. Now what ultimately will happen? Once you understand that what you have to do being a man and what you have to do being a woman, so ultimately your mind setup in the family, it will affect on the choice of the subjects in the education system. So we have different subjects. For example, we can say that female might choose nursing, sociology, home economics, and male will choose physics, chemistry, and business. Now you can see that why they are choosing different subjects, because they have been socialized in the family accordingly. For example, a girl who is watching that her mother is doing domestic work, the kitchen work, so what you will see that her mind setup will ultimately help her to choose a home economics subject. Home economics mean that how to sort it out, the economy within the home, within the house. So she will prefer more to home economics. And male, he will see that his father is doing a paid work, so probably he will go for the business. Now you can see that there are two different stream has been created in the form of the subjects. Mean different subjects for the male and different subjects for the female. And this mind setup has been created during the family socialization process. So the difference of the subjects between man and the woman, we call it as the gendered curriculum. We called it as gendered curriculum. Now, once you will choose all these subjects, of course, you will get the job based on your degrees and based on your choice of the subjects. What ultimately happened at the workplace, we will see the segregation, or both will face segregation. Both will face segregation. Segregations mean division. Now, what sort of segregation? There are two different kind of segregations. Number one, we call it as a horizontal segregation. Horizontal segregations mean some department for women and some department for men. Some department for men. For example, HR will be female oriented and production, let's say, you might consider it as the male dominant department. This is the one segregations. Now you can see that they are getting the job based on their choice of subjects, and the same segregation is happening at the workplace. The next segregation that you might consider it as, you might write it as vertical segregation. Vertical segregation. Now what does it mean? Vertical segregation. Vertical segregation means it is a straight line. So the top positions for men and lower position for women. For example, we can consider that CO will be male, although there are female which are doing job as a CEOs, but on average there are majority males on the particular positions, and assistant will be a female. Right now, if you see, either you are doing HR job or you are doing as assistant work, so both of the scenarios depicting that what were the choice of the subject you have in the education system, and your choice of subjects based on that how you have been socialized in the family. So basically they criticize that family shouldn't give any sort of roles to both man and woman. So women should know that they can also perform instrumental role, and male should also know that they can also perform the domestic role. So what ultimately happened, both genders will be enrolled in the same subjects, and there will not be any segregation you will see at the workplace. So what is the idea? The difference of the subject choices between the male and the female, we call it as a gendered curriculum.